Intro, 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 intro. Stop.
Hey, what's up, y'all? So this time I'm doing a paradise pie, and it was based on a request my brother made for his birthday. I started off with a graham cracker crust per the recipe, and after reading a recipe, I realized a couple things. I didn't want to follow it exact on the measurements because I have a different pan, and one of the things I'd like you to see is that I follow pretty much everything else, but I want viewers to understand that you can adjust things based on your understanding. And the first one was with the graham cracker crust. Normally you would pour it out into a cup measurement, and this time I poured it inside of the actual baking receptacle that I was going to cook it in. The reason is because I wanted a certain amount of coverage for that baking receptacle. You've ever had a pie or a cake that was using too little crust? That's going to be a problem. So this time I started off with the basic ingredients. I'm going to put that out in the recipe soon so you can follow along, and what that'll mean is you'll be able to see the measurements as well as read them based off of what I did, and I have all that written down. Now, the texture I was looking for here was a wet sand, and as you can see, the color of this graham cracker crust started off a light brown and ended up being a more or less burnt or tan, almost brown, so it's like a rawhide leather. Next thing I did was I took a third of a cup of chocolate chips, put that in the oven for approximately 10 minutes at 350 degrees, melted all that down, and made a layer of chocolate. Next, I added 2 cups of flour to my mixing bowl. This is going to be my inner filling. Next, I added 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Normally, you're going to add at least 1 teaspoon, I meant to say tablespoon, per cup of flour. Now, next I added 2 quarter cups of coconut shreds. Next I added a measurement of vanilla. Get that? There's not actually a measurement there. I'm just kidding. Measuring your vanilla means that you don't want flavor. I want flavor. I love flavor. Next I added another quarter cup of granulated sugar. The sweetness in this needs to be present, so you have to have a little bit of sugar. That's actually 2 granulated cups of sugar. Next, I'm going to add my nuts. Now, this time I decided to go with a maple covered walnut. Now, why did I go with that? Well, the reason is because any inch of flavor that I can get, I decided to go with, because when you're doing something like this, you want your dessert to have texture. You want it to have layers. You want it to have surprises. And that's what was going on. So another third cup of chocolate chips. And for the final bit, I added a third cup of milk. So it looks like that when you're finished. You're adding the filling on top of the crust as well as your chocolate. And you're going to put it in the oven for about 30 minutes at 350 degrees. Bring it out and put a toothpick inside of it to see if it's actually done. If it comes out with a bit of moisture or chocolate on it, then it's not done. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.